Now at midday, 2 people wounded in 2 separate shootings on the city's north side, what police say happened early this morning. Momo the monkey has finally been caught. Tips to police help track him down. The details on Momo's future, including where he's living.
And we're going to see lots of sunshine for the day today, but cooler temperatures arrive for the weekend. We'll share your forecast next.
The ouster of Kevin McCarthy has left the House of Representatives reeling ahead what Indiana Republicans want for the next speaker.
News 8 Midday starts now.
And we are taking a live look outside. It looks like a beautiful day. I know we had those fall temperatures start to roll in. Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings here. You told us yesterday we were going to start to feel those fall temperatures.
Ooh. And all I gotta say is wait till this weekend, right?
Okay.
It gets even cooler heading into the weekend.
Police say 2 men are wounded after separate shootings on the near north side of Indianapolis. The most recent shooting happening on Ruckle Street near 40th and College at about 3:15 this morning. IMPD says the victim is stable at the hospital. Detectives have not shared any information about a suspect. And about an hour before that, IMPD says they found a man wounded near 30th and Ralston. Police arrested 29-year-old Darius Garvin. They say he shot the man after a family dispute. IMPD says the victim is stable at the hospital. I-465 on the northwest side is back open this morning after a deadly crash. It happened just after 6:30 last night near 86th Street. Investigators believe an SUV rear-ended a car stopped in a backup traffic, causing a chain reaction into 3 other vehicles. Police say a woman in the rear-ended car died at the hospital. 2 passengers in that car were also hospitalized. A woman suffered serious injuries and a man had minor injuries. No word yet on what caused the crash. Police say drugs nor alcohol were factors. A woman is under arrest accused of murder and more in a summertime shooting in Broad Ripple that left 3 people dead and 1 wounded. Indianapolis police took Kara Hines into custody yesterday. Investigators say the gunfire on June 25th started with a confrontation that escalated to a quadruple shooting.
Someone gets punched and then we have gunfire. That's a problem. There are dozens of police there that they could have sought help from to say, hey, I was just punched. Can you help me identify the suspect?
Hines faces 2 counts of murder, a reckless homicide charge, and several other counts. She's due in court Tuesday. Your statewide news network covers Fort Wayne, where a woman is under arrest for attempted murder. Police arrested Bethany Fleming. They say they found her and a juvenile Tuesday evening in a home on Ralph Avenue, both suffering from life-threatening injuries. Fleming is out of the hospital and under arrest. Investigators are not giving any details about how the 2 were injured. A 61-year-old is in custody for indecent exposure. Police say arrested Charles Moore of Richmond, Indiana, because they say he exposed his genitals to customers at a Walmart in Richmond back in September. With tips from the community, police were able to arrest him. Moore is now in Hancock County Jail, charged with public indecency. Columbus police arrested a man who they say was drunk when he fired a gun inside of a car. 21-year-old Henry Aguilar Vasquez was in the passenger seat of a car near 17th Street and Central Avenue. They say he was handling a handgun, when the gun accidentally shot through the vehicle, damaging another vehicle. No one was hurt. However, police say that he was 2 times over the legal alcohol limit. Vasquez is currently being held in Bartholomew County Jail. Police are asking for your help to find a missing woman. IMPD is looking for Christy Davis. She's 5'5" with black hair and brown eyes. Detectives say she was last seen on London Court in a neighborhood south of 56th and Georgetown. They think she could be driving a black 2016 Honda Accord with Indiana plate TQB820. Police ask you to call 911 if you spot her. We spoke with members of the Indiana delegation. Congressman Jim Banks says a vote for a new speaker could happen Wednesday. The delegation says they want someone who will reunite the Republican Party and get the House working again. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist explains. Well, the monkey may not return to his owner's home. He's now at the Indianapolis Zoo after a wild 18-hour chase on the east side. IT8 senior investigative reporter Richard Essex was there when police and animal control caught Momo. The latest escape is one of two from the monkey, as he also ran away back in July. Law enforcement is asking anyone who may have been in direct contact with Momo to contact the health department in an effort to avoid spreading diseases that could be transmitted to humans. The company behind a controversial development near Eagle Creek Park is canceling the project. This follows months of pushback from neighbors in Pike Township. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez has the message from the developer.
Well, Cornerstone Companies and GCG Investments cites significant backlash.
A first-of-its-kind football helmet is about to make its debut, aimed at making the sport more accessible to people who are deaf or hearing impaired. Gallaudet University and AT&T teamed up on the design of a helmet that communicates plays between the coach and players. Coaches call plays from a tablet, and the play shows up in an augmented reality on the inside of the visor. The NCAA cleared the school to use the helmets in its game tomorrow. In Colts watch, a healthy Jonathan Taylor says he's happy to be practicing with the team again, but is dodging questions about his future with the Colts. Taylor made his first public comments since June yesterday. The last time Taylor spoke, he said NFL owners are undervaluing running backs. He lobbied for a contract extension. The Colts gave him permission to find a trade partner, and Taylor missed all of the team's offseason workouts while on the physically unable to perform list. Taylor insists he's ready to play and is committed to the Colts despite the ugly contract dispute.
I don't think it matters on if I'm saying I'm committed or not, because I'm here. I mean, if somebody wasn't committed, they wouldn't be here. I'm here right now, and my number one thing is to take care of my teammates. A lot of people worry about what I want. What I want doesn't matter what necessarily I want. What matters is what this team needs, what this team wants, what this city wants, and what this city needs. And what this city needs is a championship. And while I'm here, that's what I'm going to work my tail off to do. That's what I work my tail off to get the opportunity to do.
Head coach Shane Steichen has not said yet if Taylor will play against the Titans on Sunday. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. at Lucas Oil Stadium. We're in the final weeks of the regular season of high school football, and no one gives you better coverage in Indiana than Wish TV. Our game of the week is Warren Central at Carmel. Watch every play live as it happens on our sister station, My Indy TV 23. The game starts at 7. And as we lead into the weekend and we have these cooler temperatures, I'm guessing some of those football players might be pretty excited about these temperatures. I know I am.
Well, you know what? I mean, it's going to feel more like football weather out there, right? There's one little fly in the ointment. We could see maybe a few spotty showers.
Dance is a major part of Hispanic culture. Take a look at how one Indiana dance company celebrates culture through Latin fusion. In the station right now, this is Richmond High School.
Wish TV, Indiana's education station. We are local. Celebrating Hispanic heritage on Wish TV is brought to you by Eskenazi Health, Bose McKinney and Evans, and Camacho Janitorial.
Dance is a major part of Hispanic culture, from salsa, merengue, bachata, and many others. And one Indiana dance company celebrates culture through Latin fusion. As we continue to celebrate Hispanic heritage, I had a chance to visit the Alexander Coleman Dance Company. Culture drives movement inside the Alexander Coleman Dance Company. But Denise Reynoso and Leanne Anaya say the love for dance fuels it.
I love spreading our culture around. When we spread our culture around, people just love it, and there's something about it.
I think it's important because it comes from our culture and our backgrounds, and it's a really big part of where we come from.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, the Bellas and Mini Bellas get to work, learning new routines inspired by what they feel in their hearts and their souls.
When you hear the beats, the rhythm, it just makes you want to move.
Fallon Coleman is their instructor and says watching the girls embrace the movement is what this work is about, encouraging them to stand in their culture and create a bridge amongst themselves, but also expand further, infusing different rhythms, elements of jazz, and even popular social media dances.
It's their culture. You know, my students are from different countries, Salvador, Mexico, their families are coming from different places and they're here. And so in America, this is the opportunity for them to embrace their culture.
A love for Latin culture and dance pushed Coleman to create the dance team in 2015. A year later, she created the company. As a result, removing fear and creating a sisterhood.
It was very scary at first because dancing in a team is different than dancing like outside. There's more like technique.
When I first joined this dance, I was really nervous. Like I was scared performing in front of like a bunch of people. But then as soon as I started dancing, I felt so much comfortable because I had a big team.
Today, Anaya and Reynoso are ahead of the pack, watching the youngsters find their way. It's a lesson in culture and one they call quite adorable. And you can see the dancers in action at the Spotlight Community Center Festival tomorrow. Well, your statewide news network covers Clark County, where Jeffersonville police are raising awareness about breast cancer and domestic violence. The department decorated 2 cruisers with designs about each. Officials say these issues are serious matters for a large number of Americans. The National Breast Cancer Foundation says 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime, while the department says domestic violence is a daily issue for law enforcement. Bridging the gap through breakfast and conversations as Faith and Blue Weekend kicks off. Yesterday's event was organized by the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Several religious leaders met with deputies at Primo Banquet Hall near Keystone Avenue. Organizers say the weekend gives law enforcement the chance to interact with faith-based organizations while addressing vices.
We have the same goal in mind, and that's build more relationship with our community for a safer and stronger community overall. So that's, we come together this morning for a good breakfast. We meet, we talk, we mingle, and we make new friends today, and that's the whole point of today.
Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears and religious leaders spoke during the kickoff breakfast.
Indiana's only statewide TV news network, News 8 continues now.
And we are taking a live look outside at the southern skies. It looks like a beautiful fall day. I know a lot of people are anticipating that pumpkin spice, not me though. But I do
Apple
like this
cider?
one. I like apple juice. The cider is a bit too much.
Too much for you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
But
all
this
right.
weather is just great.
Oh, it is?
It's just right.
You're a fan.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Good.
I'm sure other people do too.
Yeah.
But maybe not some of the sprinkles that might come down the line.
Well, we may have a few spotty showers later this afternoon into the evening, early evening hours. But
the U.S. economy is dealing with 3 major industry strikes. Actors, healthcare workers, and automaker workers are on the picket lines. More than 75,000 Kaiser permanent healthcare employees are demanding better pay, benefits, and staffing, while the United Auto Workers Union is still striking with its demands for better pay and benefits beginning last month. Meanwhile, the SAG-AFTRA strikes push onward with talks resuming today. All of this just as the writers' strike ends, bringing writers back to Hollywood.
I think we're at a point where it's a lose-lose. Now it's just a matter of how much does everybody want to lose.
Expected to end this Saturday, but could reignite in November if a deal isn't reached. President Biden is defending his decision to allow 20 miles of border wall construction in Texas. He says he tried to and failed to redirect Trump-era funds. The new construction was announced in June, but Congress appropriated funds in 2019 before Biden took office. Biden made a campaign promise to not add the wall, but Congress refused to redirect funding. As Biden insists border walls don't work, his administration faces pressure to manage the increasing number of migrants at the border.
I am from a border state. That's true. And, it's been a crisis on the border, on and off for decades. We've spent a lot of money on it, but, we could always use more resources, money for Border Patrol.
Biden waived 26 federal laws to allow for construction. The president of Mexico is calling it a setback. Attorneys for former President Trump are asking a judge to dismiss the federal election subversion case against him. Trump's legal team argued yesterday he is immune from prosecution because the actions happened as part of his official role as president. No word yet when the judge will rule. And several major media organizations are asking for permission to broadcast the trial. More than a dozen outlets filed a request together yesterday, asking the judge to allow live coverage of the trial on TV or YouTube. The media groups also want access to video and audio recordings if the judge denies the live request. The trial is scheduled to start March 4th. Mourners ranging from national leaders to family members are praising the life and legacy of the late Senator Dianne Feinstein. They spoke at a memorial service in San Francisco yesterday. It wrapped up 2 days of events in the city where Feinstein launched her political career. Speakers remembered her for her achievements in various offices, but also as a talented artist and a grandmother who gave crooked haircuts in the kitchen. Vice President Kamala Harris talked about Feinstein's accomplishments, particularly those that advance the efforts of women.
The women of America have come a long way. Our country has come a long way. And you helped move the ball forward, and our nation salutes you, Dianne.
Feinstein died 1 week ago at 90 years old. A judge has sentenced the man convicted of wounding 10 people in a rush hour shooting on a New York City subway to life in prison. Frank James pleaded guilty to terrorism charges earlier this year for the April 2022 attack. Prosecutors said after the sentencing yesterday that James spent years planning the shooting in order to inflict maximum damage.
From the victim who saved another passenger's life by applying a makeshift tourniquet, to the victim who nearly lost her unborn child, to the victim who was shot 3 times and miraculously lived. Dozens of people's lives will forever be negatively affected because of the defendant's heartless acts of terror.
Attorneys for James had requested a reduced sentence of 18 years, citing the lack of deaths in the shooting. The attack wounded victims ranging in age from 16 to 60. Customs and Border Protection is touting a big watch bust in Indianapolis. The agency says officers here intercepted 362 counterfeit Rolexes, Gucci's, and more. Officials indicate they were clearly fakes with poor packaging and missing serial numbers. Customs says the shipment came from China and were bound for a home in Mesquite, Texas. Officials say the watches would have been worth more than $2 million if they had been authentic. First, Taylor Swift fans broke records to get tickets to her concert, and now they're breaking records to see her movie. A look at just how many tickets have sold so far.
Spotlight, presented by Community Health Network.
Living with sickle cell disease can be a constant battle for millions of people around the world. News 8's Lena Pringle has the details in today's Health Spotlight on how a new procedure is allowing perfect donor matches to offer a lifeline to those in dire need. Riley Hospital for Children is improving treatment for younger patients with rheumatoid arthritis. It affects 300,000 children nationwide, but is often associated with adults. Dr. Sean Matthews has been with IU Health for only 3 years, but already has patients traveling from across the country for relief at his clinic. Matthews uses a multidisciplinary approach to treat RA. He works with rheumatologists, physical therapists, and other professionals to help give patients relief with surgery. One patient says she now has a normal routine.
Modifying different things such as eating, driving, moving my body, trying different therapies as well really helped make those experiences a little bit better for me.
And Bowen says her recovery from the surgery includes medication, exercise, and taking care of her RA symptoms every day. A company based in Carmel is recalling 70 million candies over concerns that children could choke on the parts. Toxic waste brand slime liquors are small bottles with a rolling ball that delivers the flavor. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the ball can come out, leading to a choking risk. So far, there are no injuries reported. The recall covers Blue Raz, strawberry, sour apple, and black cherry candies made between June of 2015 and this June. A professor at Purdue says bedbugs should not be an Olympic problem if France acts now. The country is dealing with a large jump in infestations to the point that officials have just held an emergency meeting to take on the problem. Amaya Gundaglacher is a research professor in Purdue's entomology department. He says France has enough time to get the problem under control before Paris hosts the 2024 Olympics if leaders follow the right steps.
So generally speaking, addressing or controlling a large bedbug infestation is a complex and multi-step process. It may take anywhere between a few weeks to few months for complete eradication.
He says the solution will come from a mix of treatments, including pesticides, heat, and steam. Time for entertainment news. Taylor Swift keeps breaking ticket records. Here's David Daniel with more in today's Hollywood Minute. Record attendance for the Savannah Bananas in Indianapolis has the TikTok sensation returning to Victory Field for more shenanigans. The team's 2024 tour lineup revealed yesterday includes 3 games at Victory Field on June 27th, 28th, and 29th. The Bananas played 2 games there this year in front of the most fans at any stadium all season. Fans can sign up for pre-sale alerts now. The Indianapolis Indians say all season ticket and mini plan holders get first access to tickets. You can find out more about the team's schedule and ticket info on our website. Just grab your phone and scan the QR code to find the story in the As Seen On section of our website. This year's pumpkin crop is expected to be above average. That's according to a Purdue University professor. Pumpkins are planted in early summer for an intended September harvest. The professor says a lack of rain delayed the emergence of this year's crop, but there was enough rain in recent weeks.
We hear from others who say that both production and quality of the pumpkins are excellent this year. Within Indiana and the Midwest, I think there'll be plenty of pumpkins available for consumers. It's going to depend on where you are in the country and what market you buy your pumpkins from. So whether you get them from a local farm or the grocery store, it's going to really dictate the supply and the price.
Last year, Indiana planted 6,500 acres of pumpkins worth $30 million. And I mean, this is pumpkin season. Oh, there goes some pumpkins right there at the zoo. So this is pumpkin season. That's good news that we have plenty to choose from as we want to go out with this cool weather to maybe pumpkin patches.
I know, or the zoo. My family and I are planning on heading to the zoo later this evening.
Good.
Yeah, we may be dodging a few raindrops, and it's definitely going to be breezy out there too later on this evening. So keep that in mind if you do have any plans. For the most part of the day, I think it's going to be sunny. A live look here at our Speedway camera.
ACC football is back this weekend on Wish TV, Indiana's home for the best sports coverage in the state. This week, we have Marshall at NC State. Watch the game live starting at 2 p.m. right here on Wish TV. And you could actually watch the game outside if you wanted to, considering this fall weather we're experiencing right now. Storm Track 8, Tara Hastings here with our final look at weather.
Yeah, we're going to see lots of sunshine through much of the day today.
So, well, thank you so much for being with us at midday. Just a quick time out before Lifestyle Live picks back up before more fun at noon. I'll see you back here for more of the day's headlines on News 8 at 5.